Whilst producing and constructing the marketing campaign for The Unknown, I have focused on the conventions of the horror genre, specifically the subgenre of supernatural/slasher horror. Additionally, I have also included conventions that are typically flaunted in a media package, for example the inclusion of production house identity on each text, bludgeoned name and logo simply allows the marketing of the package to be received with a clear recognition of the same branded media product. Furthermore, the package is created and developed by me to include modern conventions. For example, the ability to launch a viral campaign using a range of social media platforms. To develop the in advance understanding of conventions presented in horror film trailers, I conducted primary research on 5 recent horror trailers, with 3 of them being a supernatural/slasher subgenre, in order to come to conclusion as to the current trends in the horror genre. The reason why I looked at recent trailers is due to the fact that conventions are ever developing and changing, and we need to keep up to date with the current conventions in order to make our trailer fit in. I decided to look at Quarantine, 2008, Final Destination 5, 2011, Scream 4, 2011, Paranormal Activity 2, 2010, and The Exorcism of Emily Rose, 2005. By researching a movie from 2005, it allowed me to learn how horror film conventions have developed over time, or if embedding conventions from that, it could allow my media product to have an original style to it. The trailers all created a sense of enigma and unpredictability as opposed to the stereotypical blood and gore typical conventions of a slasher horror film. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, as the story revolved around a female victim to a possession by an evil spirit, allowing the audience to connect and relate to it and understand the trailer's narrative, as females are stereotypically seen as the weaker gender. This is very important because a successful product enrolls common stereotypes in order to achieve instant recognition, maximize the audience's understanding. I felt that the concept of a villain being present and after the victims was a good convention in which I could pursue and develop in order to make the concept better. The similarities in which I came to terms with is that the antagonist identity in Scream 4 and Paranormal Activity is kept a secret, as throughout the whole trailer film, the audience is not aware of who he or she is, keeping a common convention of unpredictability and mystery. When researching older traditional horror movie that originally created typical conventions in the genre of horror, I saw that today's modern movies are still using thesis convention to create a successful movie. Modern film trailers are polished and over-edited to create a flash and crisp edit. I feel that over a period of time, development in film editing software has made horror movies too overdone. Movies in the modern era have lost that original feel, and sometimes overuse of editing loses realistic feel. A heavy use of CGI and special effects make it unoriginal. By gathering inspiration from films from the 70s and 80s such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Omen and Carrie, I wanted to get that old aesthetic look that the older movies portrayed. The main way to help portray this is I used a mini DV camera, which allowed me to give older feel to it and therefore brings out the aesthetic look to it. I felt this clearly gave my film a more unique feel compared to modern trailers. Furthermore, when editing my trailer, I continued bring out the rougher look, plus adding a dramatic effect which can be more realistic and increase the horror element. I challenged modern-day convention and the modern edit by reverting to conventions that are set by older films. Reverting back to convention set by old snuff films, the actual murder of a person or people, without the aid of many special effects, giving my trailer a clear, unique sense. I recognized the low lighting effects generally used to generate the darkness that connotes mystery and uncertainty. These two elements are concepts of fear, and applying these concepts in the trailer through dark shady scenes is a clear recognition of the trailer creating a scary atmosphere to the audience. There were very few voiceovers in the trailers. I explored helping to create a sense of realism and build a connection between the audience and the film due to the realistic feel. Music used in my trailer is very eerie and scratchy soundtrack, which conventional to horror trailer, but also testing the modern conventions on having a continuing soundtrack compared to a collection of different sound effects. These conventions were applied in The Unknown trailer as we presented a female victim and a male antagonist, surrounded in a range of dark mise-en-scene, and an absence of dialogue or sound was incorporated to create ambiguity, as silence itself is an ideal tool to create enigma, and it allows the audiences to interpret the trailer in their individual ways. While planning, experimenting, producing and editing my media products, I have followed and also challenged conventions. All the trailers applied the convention of increasing pace from the beginning of the trailer to its end. This has the effect of a change in emotion of the audience and is a really effective tool and popular convention. It made our trailer directly identifiable. A variety of camera shots and angles are presented in each trailer, such as, victims are inferior, so angles used for them were high and overlooking / over the shoulder. The placement of camera shots is vital, as the supernatural slasher of the target audience is large quantity of closes up and quick movement shots. Therefore we kept this in mind when producing the trailer and experimented with the idea. For example, if in one shot is a close-up shot of protagonist and if in the next shot the antagonist is standing in the middle of a room, it's likely to create confusion and mystery, which are key elements of that subgenre. The arrangement of our camera shots and angles acted as vital narrative clues for the target audiences. In The Unknown, the two characters shown in the trailer, in the trailers I researched, there are a number of different characters are shown. This enables me to challenge conventions. It was essential for me to develop my understanding of conventions to challenge them in order to create a media product that had originality and its own unique selling point that can have a wide range of target audience. My film poster contains a conventional red, black, white and grey color scheme typical to the horror genre. The posters I analyzed adopted a variety of color schemes, seeing that simplicity was a very effective way to present a movie poster. The poster I researched focused on the main image and works the way around it, balancing out the simplicity and the consistency over the media products. I chose the colors red, black, white and grey because red is a common choice of color to connote blood, fear and danger, whilst black connotes darkness, emptiness and mystery, an ideal combination for a horror film poster. The white was added to complement these tones and the grey added to represent the genre of the film of supernatural, creating confusion and creepy atmosphere. This was done to make it clearly identifiable for the target audiences that the genre of the movie is horror. I combined my analytical research and my primary research, questionnaires, to understand that my target audiences further. The results of the research showed that the audience will be attracted to a simple layout with one dominant main image. I adopted these conventions by following the results what my target audience presented to me. I presented a simple conventional layout, with the production house and taglines at the top of the canvas, with the film name, credits, release date, and web. Furthermore, during my research I recognized that to build a strong recognition with the main character of a film, it's highly conventional for posters to present a simple close-up shot of the protagonist with no mise-en-scene to keep the focus on the main image itself. The subject's facial expressions are regularly dead-faced to not give anything away. I followed and applied these conventions to my poster so that I was able to achieve a successful and professional media product. The image in most posters is adapted or edited to bring a sense of originality combined with a professional finish to it. I used Photoshop to adjust the image lighting and contrast. I used the burn feature to manipulate the image to create a poster that is unique and stands out. By adding this effect to the image, I created a representation of being strange and unnormal, connoting mystery and confusion, therefore attracting the target audience to go watch the movie. My magazine cover follows the main conventions expected on that magazine. I decided to focus on the main character of the film to give a clear recognition and identity to my magazine and both other media products, trailer and poster. I analyzed a range of magazines' front covers: Empire, Total Film and Entertainment Weekly. I combined my analytical research and my primary research, questionnaires, to understand what my target audiences find appealing and attractive on film magazines. The results of the research showed that the audience are attracted to bold/strong masthead at the top, a dominant image and an interesting main cover line. Also including fundamental parts like the price, barcode, issue number and date. My main image was conventional to horror movie magazines. I chosen to use a film still that I took on set. I modified and adapted the image around a black canvas which I made. I manipulated the image by changing the contrast and brightness, also adding a grayscale to give it the effect as if it was taken on night vision. My film magazine cover is aimed to a wider range of people that target a mainstream audience in order to maximize mainstream, furthermore allowing the magazines to become more identifiable.